Star Church and 24 to Double. I was just driving around thinking about you, thinking about pastors that I get to just add value to, get to speak to, and hopefully mentor in some ways. And I just want to speak to you about one topic. And because my good friend Richard Chancey told me to stop making videos while I'm driving around, I just pulled over on the side of the road. I'm in a parking spot, and I titled this talk, Start with Why, Continue with Why, and Finish with Why. If you've read Simon Sinek's book, Start with Why, it's a great book, by the way. He talks a lot about, and this is true, he's not the first person to tell us this, that it's so important that we don't spend too much time on the what that we're doing as a leader, as a pastor. We need to talk more about why we are doing it. You start there, but actually, I would just say as a 25-year pastor, I've done this a long time. You can't get enough why in there. And that's been a difficult lesson for me to learn because I'm a what kind of guy, you know. I feel like I had my why moment years ago when God called me into ministry, and I've had a number of other why moments where God became very real to me and he told me my why. But, for me and most leaders, I file that away and I live off of that. It's like adrenaline in unlimited supply. I can keep remembering why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I stay focused on our systems as a church, who we're reaching out to, what does our outreach process look like and strategy look like? Are we doing a good job on follow-up? Are we managing the funds well? I mean, that's all what, what, and a bunch of how, right? But what I've learned is regular folks, church members, the people who've made my church what it is today, the people who give, the people who serve, the people who go on the missions trips and do all the ministry that is done, they need to be reminded of the why often. Now, why am I telling you this? Because when you think you have communicated the why, you haven't. I don't remember who said it, but someone said the greatest fallacy of communication is the belief that it's been done. Let that sink in just for a minute. You think you've communicated. You think you've been very clear. And the fact that words have come out of your mouth is not proof that you've communicated properly. And I'm telling you, pastors, as a long-term pastor, I've seen a lot of successes in my ministry. I've seen some difficult times as well. I have come to realize when I think I've made the vision clear and I've made the why clear, I'm not there yet. I need to start every sermon with why. Why are we talking about this? What is this lesson, this message going to have impact on my life? I need to continue that message with why, and I need to finish that message with why. If I've got my staff together, whether it's paid or volunteer staff, I started with all volunteer staff. Now I have paid and volunteer. No matter who it is, if I get them together and I say, we're going to do this, we're going to charge this hill, start with why. Talk about why we're doing it, the souls that are going to be impacted, the reason that we're following after Christ, how this is going to change people's lives. Then get a little bit into the details of what I need you to do and how you're going to do it. Then circle back. Go back to why. Talk about stories. Talk about testimonies. Talk about what it's going to paint a picture of what it's going to look like when we do this. Then continue on with a little more details, the process, the flow, the expectations, the to-do list. Then circle right back. Talk about why again. Now, if you're like me, you're a type A aggressive leader, it's going to take some getting used to do this. I came up, my dad said, son, I told you to do it today because I wanted you to do it today. He didn't tell me twice. He told me one time. And sort of that's my own philosophy. God tells me one time, I want to get it done. That is not the way you lead people. You have to remind them of the why. You have to remind them of the vision over and over and over again. So pastors, if I could leave you with one thing, if you've got a great heart, you've heard from God, you're walking with him, you've got a great plan, you know what you're supposed to do, you've got a great system, you've got a strategy laid out of how it's going to be done, and yet with all of those things, and maybe you're a great communicator, with all of those things, it's still not happening, could I encourage you to go back to the why? Start with why, continue with why, and end with why. The gospel of Jesus Christ is full of inspiration. but you can't give it all to people one time only. You've got to continue to feed their tank with vision and remind them of your why. Hey, God bless you. I hope this has spoken to you in some way. I am with 24 to Double, and I'd like to just speak to you in more ways and help you along your journey. Go to 24trial.com. Just open a browser, click on, put in the web address 24trial.com. You'll hear about our systems and who we are as a structure that helps your church be healthy and teaches you how to grow in a healthy and missional way. 24trial.com. I hope I'll see you over there. God bless.